Good morning, traders, investors. Dale Sawyer, Trader Boys. We got a sea of green here. We got the S&P up 0.5%, Nasdaq's up 0.9, nice recovery there. Dow's up 4.3, and Russell's up 4.6. So we got a pretty balanced market. Bonds are up, oil is up, gold is still on the charge, 1933, heading towards that 2,500 mark that we've been putting out there for the last couple of weeks. Apple, big mover here. Amazon, a big mover here. And so on. So the only one that's down right now is Tesla, and Tesla's got a nice opportunity coming up. IBM, Goldman Sachs for looking kind of the insights of the Dow. Coronavirus plays here. Carnival Cruise Lines is having a little bit of a problem. And then Exxon and Chevron is up with the oil markets up. So if we look at the Dow 30, based on its weighting, based on the highest price first, we can see the only one that's going to give us a little bit of a problem here is United Healthcare, sorry. Everything else is looking pretty good. And down the bottom here, these were down just a little while ago. They've turned positive too. So, looking pretty good across the board here. So, United Healthline is going to put a little bit of pressure on the Dow, but other than that, we're going up. We're going up. So let's look at the charts here. Before we do, let's look at the economic reports for the week. Last week of July, so understanding going to have rebalancing from institutions and mutual funds here coming into the end of the month. So that's going to give us some volatility in the markets. Nothing really, durable goods orders at in 4 minutes from right now, and consumer confidence at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So look for the reversal off that. Retail inventories, pending home sales. So, here's the big one. Wednesday, July 29th, 2 p.m., we've got the FOMC meeting. This is the largest market moving event in the market. So you've got to be hedged going through this event here. We'll see what the Fed has to say, how much more money they're going to print, and how they're going to stimulate the economy, and who they're going to give it to. And so that's a huge one coming out Wednesday, 2 p.m. Okay, put that in your calendar, put that on your phone. As a reminder, you got to know that's coming out. Nothing, natural gas report 10:30. And employment cost index, but PMI, consumer sentiment, a little bit of, you might have some action here on Friday with these reports here as well. When we jump over to the charts, look at the S&P, we're looking from a daily basis today. We've had a nice little retracement in the market, and we've got some green going on this morning. So we're coming off the little demand level here in the S&P 500. So the S&P's now got the availability that we can move, and we can get up into this 3360 area. With not too much difficulty. We've got to get some trend lines and stuff to get through here to make that happen. So this is probably it's going to take the week if we can move that much. So still an uptrend, still looking good, holding demand, holding above the moving averages. Right? So look for long entries today and look to ride those for the next couple of days until we see what happens with the economy and so on. Here's your Russell 2000 on a daily time frame, basically up. We're based, so we made the move up, we came back, we retraced, we're into a level of demand here, and we're looking for the progression of the Russell up into its supply areas. So if the Russell could really get a move on like it was trying to last week, right, in the next couple of weeks we could see it up in this upper area of supply if the markets can remain bullish. Here's your NASDAQ. NASDAQ is nice retracement. It's put in a double top formation here. We haven't broken below, or we just had below the low there into a 60-minute demand level. Now we've gained the trend line. This is critical. We've gained the trend line. We closed at the trend line on Friday, and this morning we're looking for a break above Friday's high. We break above Friday's high, you got permission to go long, and there's going to be a lot of setups coming off that. We'll go through that in a minute. Now on the VIX, we have the trend line coming off the highs of the VIX right here. We break that trend line on the VIX, and we're going to see some downfall in the market, and we're going to see a pop at least into the 40 mark here, right, over a series of days to weeks. So we got to keep an eye on this trend line. We got to keep it on the VIX and see what happens there. That's our indication now. We break that trend line, we know the market's going to have some problems. Right, we're looking at oil on the 60-minute time frame, off its demand level, broken above these highs. Coming above this high right here, look for a retracement on oil, and you can get along the market. So look for a 15-minute level right here in 41.41, and you get a trade in your hands to come all the way back up in the 42.30 area for a nice little transaction there. The gold markets on the 60-minute time frame, It's just come down. It's tagged this demand level. Now in the gold markets, if we look at this from a daily time frame, gold is due for a retracement at some point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days up. Gold does need to retrace at some point, and that would be very healthy for the gold markets. And for those that haven't got on this trade, then this is a transaction you can participate with once we get a retracement in this market. It is doing it phenomenally well, and that's a great transaction for a longer term play. Let's look at the tech stocks, because I know a lot of people have massive interest in tech stocks. So here's our NASDAQ on the trend line. We're going to break above Friday's high. We got game on. Here's Apple on a daily time frame. So Apple has broken the trend line. Apple has broken the trend line. So look for Apple. Hey, we almost got back to this demand level on Friday, and we made a strong move up, and that was a 10 o'clock reversal play. This is a great transaction. Now for Apple, we can take above today's high, and we can take that trade and come into the 386 as target number one. Because this may be as high as Apple gets. We're going to have trendline resistance, and we're going to have this demand level here that has tremendous supply coming into play. That's a massive institutional play right there. So Apple, you get a trade there. You got to be cautious of this area right here on Apple. Here's Amazon. Amazon came off at demand level, came off the lower trend line here. Amazon breaks above today's high, which is already gapping. It's going to gap above today's high. So on the gap, there's two different ways to play this. This is a professional gap. It's gapping in the direction the market is currently moving. So usually gap and run on pro gaps. So look for your opportunities on smaller time frames to get a piece of Amazon, because it's going to probably make a big move there. Netflix is not looking too healthy in my books. Prior resistance here became support. I'm not a big support resistance trader. You could look for Amazon break above the high to go up. You've got this area to get through, and then we could fill this gap here. So Netflix is not on my radar here. But here's Tesla. Tesla's looking phenomenal on the daily time frame. Right demand level right here. Beautiful retracement. And now we've got room to move. Room to move to the upside. So interesting thing that you got to think about here is Tesla came out with phenomenal earnings, and the pros sold it hard. That is not usually a great indication. We should get a bounce here. We should get a run up in the markets here, but look for institutional selling coming right back in there in the 1700 mark again. Right, that would not be surprising at all. Last one here is Microsoft. Microsoft has been a favorite for me for the last few weeks. It has hit its demand level here. We have reversed, and Microsoft has room to move into 210 or 210, and then it can increase that to the upper reaches here of 215, 220. Right, so Microsoft is looking healthy and ready to go. It has a bid at 203.20 right now, so it's looking for a small gap up, and that would be your pro gap play. Right. Thanks for watching. Dale Sargent. Have a phenomenal trading week. Remember, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday is the Fed announcement. Put that in your calendars. You need to know about it. Have an awesome week.